few people know the real story behind Mariah Carey's
Die kenne ich nicht.
Mariah has said, I was trying to say something nice or say nothing at all. I really was. I believe her. That's because I don't know her was the nicest thing Mariah Carey's ever said about JLo. I have the clips to prove it. And let me know in the comment section if this changes your view of the feud, whose side you're on. I think it might. Let's go back to 2001 in that interview. Mariah Carey was asked by a German tabloid show what she thought of her fellow artists. Beyonce was first. She said Beyonce, great singer, a very sweet person as well.
Very sweet.
Then they asked about Jennifer Lopez.
Die kenne ich nicht.
Mariah's determined to leave it there. You can see she smiles and just nods. It made it shadier, but I actually think it was her attempt not to make news with this. This was a sensitive time in Mariah's career. She had been the it girl of the 90s. Back then, the entertainment press loved to pit her against Whitney Houston. They both had those voices. And the tabloids made them out to be two divas battling it out behind the scenes. In reality, they did very little to perpetuate this, and even did a duet together for the Prince of Egypt soundtrack called When You Believe, appearing on Oprah, singing it together in this legendary appearance.
Who knows what miracles you cannot achieve when you believe.
By 2001, unfortunately, Whitney was a shell of her former self, and Mariah was still relevant, so the tabloids needed a new foe to pit her against, and they found it in Jennifer Lopez. Unlike her largely manufactured feud with Whitney, there was some real tension between JLo and Mariah was happy to fan these flames.
You want me to do a duet with JLo?
A duet?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure how that would sound.
When interviewer Vanessa Gregoriadis, who originally spoke with Mariah for Allure, told Carey she'd recently interviewed Lopez, Carey said, quote, I bet it was really intellectually stimulating. I bet you could just see the depth in her eyes. She was so soulful.
You know, she just really didn't like hearing Jennifer Lopez's name. It wasn't somebody she wanted to talk about.
Mariah, who calls herself Supergirl, says she often sleeps just 3 hours a night. When told Lopez claimed to get 8, Mariah said, quote, if I had the luxury of not actually having to sing my own songs, I'd do that too.
Does all the attention Jennifer Lopez gets, does that bother? Is there rivalries, by the way, in this business?
There are rivalries, but I don't think she has anything to do with me. I mean, my whole thing is singing, writing
She's
songs.
an actress.
Yeah, and you know, I've been doing this, you know, my whole life. Singing is first and foremost. It's a God-given talent that I'm grateful for. Her thing is something different.
Something different. All of this drama kind of came and went until 2008, when that German tabloid interview was uploaded to YouTube. The 2009 radio interview, Mariah says,
I don't know the woman. You know, there were things in the past that are from the past, and I think that was more confusion, courtesy of a record company issue.
Around this time, social media really starts to take off, and this becomes a meme. The meme gives it a life of its own. And in 2016, Wendy Williams brings it up and gets JLo to comment.
I didn't see Mariah because at the time she wasn't playing. She hadn't started yet.
Who? No, I'm playing because that's what Mariah said about Jennifer one time.
She does say that.
Yeah, she does.
She's forgetful, I guess.
Yeah.
We've met many times.
Then Andy Cohen asks Mariah Carey about what JLo said.
I'm very forgetful.
Okay.
Apparently, I'm forgetful.
Yes.
Because I don't remember the fact that it was just like, hi, I'm so-and-so. And then like, hi. That's it.
Right.
If I had never had a conversation with you and someone asked me about you, I'd be like, I don't know him, but he seems cool.
Right.
Or, I don't know him.
Does she seem cool?
I don't know her.
And it didn't help that Jennifer Lopez was caught texting during Mariah Carey's performance at the Billboard Music Awards that year, only furthering talk of a feud.
That was not fair then with the texting thing because I watched a lot of it. It was a long performance.
It wasn't until Mariah Carey's 2020 memoir that we finally got confirmation of what had only been rumored up until then. Now remember, this is almost 2 decades after that original interview. After Mariah Carey's contentious divorce from record executive Tommy Mottolla. Mottolla was the head of Sony Music at the time. He was a big deal in the record industry. He discovered Mariah, helped build her career. Mariah's next single, her next release after leaving Tommy, is being closely watched. She has a lot to prove. That first album was the Glitter soundtrack, and for the lead single, Loverboy, she had decided to sample Firecracker by Yellow Magic Orchestra. Now, Tommy Mottolla apparently got wind of this and decided to use that very same sample on a song with his new pop star, now that he didn't have Mariah anymore, Jennifer Lopez. It doesn't stop there. He apparently got wind that Mariah had collaborated on a song with rapper Ja Rule. Mariah was trying to move in the hip-hop, R&B direction along with all pop music. And Tommy then called Ja Rule's manager, Irv Gotti, and said, hey, I want you to work on a collaboration with JLo, which we know to be
The way you walk, the way you move, the way you talk.
Mariah calls it sabotage, plain and simple. Mariah was left scrambling, having to find a new sample and a new rapper, which she did in Da Brat for her lead single, Loverboy. There's no evidence that JLo knew any of this at the time, but you can see why Mariah was a little sour towards JLo. Even though they hadn't met, she didn't know her.
The stress of it all finally caught up with Mariah in August 2001, 1 month after that German I Don't Know Her interview. She crashed TRL, a live broadcast. The host Carson Daly seemed confused. So did Mariah Carey.
What are you doing?
Loverboy had become Mariah's first lead single not to reach #1. It stalled at #2, and the early reviews for Glitter weren't good. Mariah was hospitalized for severe mental and physical exhaustion. She would later reveal she was diagnosed as bipolar. Release dates for the album and movie were each pushed back 3 weeks, and the bad news kept on coming.
Now, the timing of Glitter's release was really unfortunate for Mariah. The Glitter soundtrack was released on September 11th, 2001. Despite this, and Tommy Mottola's efforts to derail her, Loverboy still went on to become the biggest selling single of 2001.
It's worth noting Mariah never mentions Jennifer Lopez by name in her memoir, instead calling her another female entertainer on the label, whom I don't know. So where do things between them stand now?
Let's give Mariah the last word.
What do you think about people still referencing I Don't Know Her all these years later?
I still don't know her.
So I'm curious, after knowing the whole real complete story here, whose side are you on? Did it change your opinion at all? Leave a comment in the comment section, and be sure to like the video and share it if you liked it. Also, subscribe to my channel. I am breaking down topics in media, politics, and pop culture. Whatever I find interesting, really, with new videos each week.